Moonshiners Kenny Law dead at 68. Moonshiners star Kenny Law has died. It's been reported that Kenny died on Tuesday night at a local hospital in Virginia. He became famous after his distillery was featured on the popular Discovery Channel show. Keep reading to find out more about his life and his death. Moonshiners has become a popular show on Discovery, and one of its stars, Kenny Law, has sadly passed away. Thames spoke with a cousin named Henry Law, who confirmed the news. The news was also shared on Facebook by Amanda Bryant. According to Henry Law, Kenny had been battling a number of health issues. He had heart trouble for some time and also suffered from a heart attack back in 2024. Along with his heart condition, he had diabetes, which always contributed to his health battles. Along with his underlying conditions, it was a blood infection that landed him in the hospital. Sadly, his body was too weak to fight off infection along with his other ailments. Henry also revealed the family was with him at the time of his passing. The viewing will be held this Friday, with a graveside service happening the following day on Facebook. Amanda Bryant, who is a fellow star of the show, shared photos of Kenny and said last night, "We lost a true legend. Kenny Law from our Moonshiner family. You will be dearly missed. It was an honor to know you and call you my friend. Rest easy, big guy." Prayers for the whole Law family in this time. They are dear friends of mine and my heart breaks for each of them. Rest in peace, Kenny Law. Much respect to you. Always tons of fans went to comment and offered their condolences. Moonshiners has run on Discovery for 14 seasons and features the 200-year-old illegal alcohol distilling tradition in the Appalachian region. The show first premiered in 2011. Kenny Law and cousin Henry also both ran the Law's Choice Distillery in Franklin County, Virginia. He was a third-generation distiller continuing on the moonshine tradition. The show follows their family's 60 years of distilling. Kenny was a legend and will be missed by all who knew him. Now his family must continue their moonshine journey without him. Moonshiners is available to stream on Hulu and Discovery, plus Jamie is a nurse and a mom of boys whose true passion is writing. She loves reality, cooking, and paranormal TV. Jamie has been writing online for several years. Moonshiners Kenny Law dead at 68. A legacy of defiance and craftsmanship. Kenny Law, the celebrated star of the hit reality TV series Moonshiners, passed away on January 18, 2025, at the age of 68. Law, known for his gritty demeanor, a deep love for his Appalachian heritage, and his remarkable skill as a moonshiner, became a beloved figure to fans of the Discovery Channel show. His passing marks the end of an era for the show, but also the closing of a chapter in the storied history of moonshine culture in the United States. A life steeped in tradition, born and raised in the rugged hills of Appalachia, Kenny Law's life was shaped by the traditions of his ancestors. Growing up in a family that had been making moonshine for generations, Law was steeped in the lore and the technical craft of distillation. It wasn't merely a business for him. It was a legacy, one passed down from father to son, from uncle to nephew. Law often spoke with pride of his roots, the long history of bootleggers and moonshiners who had defied both law and expectation, finding freedom in the hills and hollows of the region. From a young age, Law demonstrated a remarkable aptitude for the craft. His understanding of the science behind distillation, the fermentation process, the precise temperatures, the perfect cut, was honed over decades of practice. But what made Kenny Law stand out among the many moonshiners of his era was not just his technical skill, but his charisma and his deep connection to the culture of the mountains. He embodied the spirit of independence that defines Appalachian moonshiners, and it was this authenticity that caught the attention of Moonshiners producers when they were casting for the show. From moonshine to TV stardom in 2011, Moonshiners premiered on the Discovery Channel, and Kenny Law quickly became one of the show's most captivating stars. The series, which documented the lives of individuals who continued to produce illegal moonshine in the Appalachian region, struck a chord with viewers for its portrayal of a rural, rebellious way of life. While much of the show's content was framed as a reality series, it was filled with plenty of high-stakes moments, law enforcement confrontations, and moments of tension as Moonshiners like Law attempted to keep their operations under wraps. But for Kenny, the show wasn't just about evading the law or running a business. It was a chance to showcase the craft he so deeply loved. His charm and wit made him a fan favorite, and his ability to explain the intricate details of moonshining in a way that was both accessible and entertaining to the series. While other cast members might focus on the dangers of being a moonshiner or the high-risk drama of the show, Kenny's episodes often delved into the purity of the craft itself, celebrating the artistry of making fine liquor. "It's all about the craft," Law said in one of his many interviews during the show. "It's about making something that's been handed down through generations. There's a lot of pride in doing it right. You're not just making moonshine, you're making history." As the show's popularity grew, so did Law's influence. Fans traveled from far and wide to visit him in the mountains of Tennessee, where he was known for his generosity and for being willing to share his knowledge of the art of distillation, albeit on his own terms. He was often regarded as a mentor to the younger generation of moonshiners who looked up to him not only for his technical expertise, but also for his unshakable moral code and his devotion to the moonshine tradition. A man of many facets, while Moonshiners showcased the daring and often dangerous life of a moonshiner, Kenny Law was more than just a reality TV star. He was a man deeply embedded in his community. Law was an advocate for preserving the Appalachian way of life, fighting against what he saw as the encroachment of modern society on his beloved hills. He had a sharp understanding of both the past and the future, and though his world may have seemed rooted in the past, he knew how to adapt to the changing times. Kenny was an avid supporter of local farmers and distillers, believing strongly in the importance of small-scale production. He would often partner with local businesses to create special batches of moonshine, highlighting the produce and grains that were native to the region. He spoke passionately about the importance of sustainability in the production of moonshine, believing that just as moonshine had been historically made with local crops, so too should it be in the present day. But beyond his work in distillation, Kenny was a true Appalachian Renaissance man. He was known for his storytelling prowess, often gathering friends and visitors around his porch to regale them with tales of moonshine history, local folklore, and the colorful characters who had come before him. He could spin a yarn with the best of them, blending humor, history, and a touch of mountain mystique. His stories brought to life the rugged spirit of the region, and anyone lucky enough to sit down with him would leave feeling as though they had just taken a journey through time. The end of an era. Kenny Law's passing has been met with an outpouring of grief and admiration from fans and colleagues alike. Tributes have poured in from all corners of the world, as people reflect on the impact he had on the moonshine community, the TV industry, and the cultural landscape of Appalachia. T. Miller, a fellow Moonshiners star, shared a heartfelt tribute, recalling their many adventures together. "Kenny was the heart and soul of Moonshiners," he said. "He wasn't just a moonshiner, he was a teacher, a mentor, a friend. I'll miss his wisdom and his laughter more than words can say." Many viewers found Kenny's authenticity and humility to be part of what made him so appealing. In a world full of pretense and showmanship, Kenny Law stood as a beacon of integrity. His death marks not only the loss of a television icon, but the end of an era in a larger cultural context. As the production of moonshine becomes more and more regulated, and the old ways are slowly replaced by new technologies and methods, Kenny Law represented a bygone age when moonshiners operated in the shadows, defiant in their pursuit of craft and tradition. Reflections on his legacy. Kenny Law leaves behind a legacy that goes far beyond television. His contribution to preserving the moonshine culture will undoubtedly be remembered for years to come. For those who grew up watching Moonshiners, his face became synonymous with the rugged charm of Appalachia, where independence, self-reliance, and a commitment to one's craft were more than mere ideals. They were a way of life. His passing has also sparked a renewed interest in the history and art of moonshining. In many ways, Kenny's work ensured that the practice would not simply fade into history, but would continue to inspire future generations. As his family, friends, and fans grieve, they also celebrate the tremendous impact he had in bringing Appalachian culture into the homes of millions. Kenny Law's death marks the end of one of the most beloved chapters in Moonshiners, but his story will live on, not just in the show's episodes, but in the lasting imprint he left on the world of moonshining, the mountains he called home, and the hearts of those who knew him. In memoriam, Kenny Law, 1956 to 2025. Kenny Law may have left this world, but his memory will forever remain in the hills of Appalachia, in the stills where the finest moonshine is made, and in the stories.